destiny, and not a lot given away for FlyQuest to work with. You just know that it is a hard engaged tank support.
Well, FlyQuest are going to pick up a powerful engaged support of their own here with the Thresh to go up against the Rell. We'll see how well that can be piloted into this champion that just is so damn popular these days. Let's see what they want to pick along with it. Okay, Aphelios, one of those champions that you love to see picked next to something like a Thresh to make up for the fact that he has no inbuilt dash or invisibility or blink, but he has Thresh to keep him safe, and maybe he can pop off.
I love it. I love Aphelios with Thresh. It's my favorite pairing of him. I think every other pairing is too difficult to keep the Aphelios alive right now. You've got champions like Hecarim running around, and this seems to be a really common pairing. Yesterday, we got twice the Hecarim and Rell together in lock-in. It was really popular, and now it's getting back on the menu. Double Horsies for IMT, and it's really good engage, and it makes me think that Kai'Sa should be locked in here because you do have already a lot of dive. You would want to have somebody else to help you out. You already see the AD, but it looks like prioritizing Insanity will be the bigger importance here, and Azir is still up, so taking the Syndra just tells me you want to have more setup for your Hecarim. You don't want to think so much in the late game. You want to be fighting in that mid game.
Lock it in. Come on now. Lock it in.
2 games in a row.
Lock it in.
I need to see that camera shake again.
Come on now. You can do it. Come on, Jose.
He's doing it.
Oh, baby. 2 for 2. JoseDeodo playing the Skarner here in this second match. Now, we do have things just a little bit lopsided. We have support and jungler for both sides, but Immortals have drafted their mid laner, and FlyQuest have drafted their AD carry. So the bans might be a little bit different, or either side could just decide to target those top lanes. We did mention how Revenge has been a big catalyst here for the success that Immortals has found so far. Kai'Sa is going to be banned away, exactly as you were talking about. This champion makes a lot of sense with Rell and Hecarim, so FlyQuest do not want to give that one over.
Yeah, and now I'm really thinking like, damn, I'm mad you didn't take Kai'Sa. Because Palafox has last pick now, so you can get both counter mid and top now, right? So you're getting a lot. Palafox shines on counter pick. He likes the Yone, the Akali's, the Aurelias. You could always take Echo into the Syndra, so you could even make that a difficult matchup for Insanity. And now you don't have a diving buddy into the bot lane, so maybe you could go Misfortune to have the bullet time backline access, but I really think that the Kai'Sa stealth is also really good against Skarner, right?
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to pay the QSS tax if he can't see you, so
well, you should still probably pay the tax.
Listen, all I'm saying is I'm trying to think of different ways to avoid paying my taxes, Flowers. You can't hate me for that. I think we're all in that same boat.
All right, all right. Well, Immortals are going to focus that mid lane pool here. They're going to ban out the other 2 big AP mids right now with the Orianna and the Azir. The Corki that we saw in the last game is still open as a potential answer here. We also have the Viktor being hovered as Kai'Sa and Kalista are banned away. FlyQuest likely do want to pick the mid laner here so they can do what you were describing and get a counter pick in both solo lanes, and the Viktor is the choice.
Yeah, okay, so just farm it up into the mid lane, get into the Syndra. We've seen PoE, I think, play that matchup yesterday against Amante. Looked pretty good. And we'll see what IMT round this out, though, because now Revenge will have to blind his top lane champion as well. So Graga's still available, Gnar still open, GP as well. Plenty of options for IMT, and curious to see what Licorice does about it, though, because GP would be a pretty safe choice, but I fear that we're going to end up getting like GP versus Gnar, nothing too spicy. I want to see the Ivern again, but I don't know if Licorice has it in him to take the matchup.
Man, you think of the word spicy and the champion that comes to your brain is
Ivern is spicy. Ivern is spicy top. What? For sure.
He makes pushes and shields people. How is he spicy? Ivern is like the most plain, unseasoned champion in League of Legends.
No, he's herbal. He's herbal. He's not spicy. He's herbal.
All right, well, we don't have Ivern anyway. We don't got to worry about it. We got Ezreal locked in here to pair with the Rell in the bottom lane against the Aphelios Thresh. It's Gangplank up there on the top side. What is the answer here from FlyQuest against the GP? What is Licorice going to play into this option? The Gnar has been pretty popular lately. I wouldn't be surprised to see this locked in, and there it is. FlyQuest rounding out the composition with a Gnar.
Yeah, well, okay. I mean, he'll have to be useful in the team fight. The laning phase isn't going to be the focal point for him, but maybe Licorice can get out of lane and be useful there. He's really only struggled when the lane goes poorly. If he gets the team fight from a good point, he's been solid, so maybe he can do that again. Man, Gnar against Gangplank again. the meta's already developed so much. We're already kind of getting a little bit diminishing returns from the excitement of these picks.
Okay, one thing that I'm looking at here, we're going through the Skarner lens yet again. There's 3 good ulti targets here in Gangplank, Syndra, and Ezreal. Hecarim is also...
Really?
So, wait, hold on. I got to finish the point now. This is a multi-step process. All right, you can't just rush this like Season 8 Game of Thrones. I got to do the character development like the good Season 8 Game of Thrones. Now, Gangplank is only a good target after he's used his orange. He has a built-in QSS. The oranges do actually remove Skarner's suppression, so that one's a tricky one. But Hecarim will also be a decent enough target if you ult him early on before he gets tanky. Hecarim's like to go for a Divine Sunderer or a damage-based mythic item, and if you catch him out of position, you can blow him up super easy before the rest of his team's able to save him and allow him to drain tank through Spirit of Dread.
I'm a big fan of what we saw last game from Dardoch and what you just said. Ulting everybody that's not a carry. Not only are they less likely to buy the QSSs, but they're usually playing closer to the enemy, a little bit farther out of position. So the Hecarims, the Rells are usually really good targets to just pick off. And yeah, it's not a carry, but you'll still take a 4v5 after that. So maybe JoseDeodo can pilot this Skarner beautifully and give us a little butt wiggle again, because I want to learn what this Skarner has got. Maybe we can get 3 games in a row of Skarner flowers.
Oh, baby. He's getting
popular now. He's going to be even more popular on 11.4.
Well, one thing that you do have to watch out for in the Skarner versus Hecarim matchup, if he turns on Spirit of Dread and you pull him while it's active, remember that Spirit of Dread vamps off of all allied damage around you and not just your own. So if you pull Hecarim and then his team dives in and just starts laying down all the burst, a Gangplank ulti, a True Shot barrage, everything like that, Hecarim will likely survive the pull, and now he's in the middle of your team and can just rampage all over everybody. So they must be careful with how they time that if Jose is looking to make those sorts of plays on Xerxe here before he gets tanky enough to survive. Anyway, we'll see the junglers start on what looks like opposite sides of the map here this game, as Xerxe will be starting on the red side, and you'll see JoseDeodo doing the same thing here, but without a leash for himself. Skarner is very capable of jungling without a leash. I do also want to point out, Xerxe with the Conqueror on the Hecarim. Sometimes you see Conqueror, sometimes you see Phase Rush. Conqueror will be better for him just taking straight up fights here against the Skarner or any other melee opponent.
Yeah, the extended fights, 1v1s, really good out of Xerxe. And one thing I would like to see some more variation with in the league is the Raptor start from a lot of junglers. Being able to start on Raptors, go straight to Crumbzz, then do the red buff, gives you more time with the red buff against the opposing champions, and respawns your camps faster. So I'd like to see a little more experimentation with that route. It's getting some more play around the world. And a lot of it is obviously champion dependent, but yeah, I think that there is a lot to be said for experimenting your jungle route and throwing the enemy off guard, especially if you're trying to get some quick ganks early on.
Well, we can see Jose going for the full clear, Xerxe doing the same thing. They will end up on opposite sides of the map. Right now, it is the FlyQuest bottom lane with control and priority over that lane. Up here on the top side, Revenge is the one pushing forward, and Licorice will continue to fall back as he gets poked by those parlays.
Licorice has to be careful there. Getting very low could actually position himself in a really risky spot, because Syndra can TP top, go for a dive, and that would easily get Revenge in a really favorable spot. You also have the Hecarim up there as well, so Licorice will ward up. He is staying healthy with the potion and the Doran shield, but this is a play that teams are constantly looking out for. If you take some bad trades and a wave is crashing towards you, you best believe that somebody's calling for a dive. They're just asking, can we do something? And if the answer is, yeah, just push out a little bit longer, give me some time and I can TP, then that's when you're in trouble. But they ask, nothing can be done against Licorice. He heals back up, and they're fine, since Gangplank continues to push up, get some farm, and not be in kill threat.
Licorice with a good deny there on the barrel, and now he's able to chase Revenge away just a little bit. Doesn't want to continue that chase, of course, as Revenge will soon have that gun reloaded and ready to fire. Back here in the mid lane, Insanity versus Palafox. Insanity goes for a cheeky trade, but the spells don't connect, so Palafox is feeling just fine. No really huge differences in farm across the lanes just yet. Biggest one is Revenge versus Licorice up there in the top side, about a wave ahead of his opponent. Back in the jungle, we can see the junglers took the opposite crabs from one another. They're both going to go ahead, get on back. You can see Xerxe had already returned and shopped, has the Sheen in his inventory right back out on the map as Jose goes back and buys those Ionian boots of Lucidity. This can be a very effective tool for Skarner. The 20 built-in ability haste means much more frequent ultimates, and in a pro play setting, it's all about the ulti for Skarner. You want to be that big playmaker and facilitator, so he'll be faster out here on the map.
I love that. I love that first boot purchase. He's not the only champion that can go for it because not only are you getting more ultimates, you're getting more flashes, and you're getting to move around your jungle faster, clearing it sooner. So because so much of it is focused around clearing these jungle camps, if you can just be there faster to make sure that you don't waste any time on the respawn timers, then you can actually pull ahead of the Hecarim, who is just going for the damage with the Sheen. So I'd like to see what JoseDeodo does, and maybe he gets really aggressive with that flash since it's going to be on a shorter cooldown.
Insanity and Xerxe invading Jose now, recognizing, hey, they're the ones who have control over the mid lane. They can make this 2v1 play, and Jose's forced to back off a little bit here as Immortals will take control over his topside jungle. But there's no camps to steal away, so he's not really too sad about this.
Yeah, you only lose the Raptor camp, and you say, all right, no big deal. They're not going to dive my Gnar, which was the big problem, the potential, and he should have hop here. Maybe just.
But they are going to dive the Gnar as Licorice eats some damage here. Barrels being placed down. Revenge tries to blow up the barrels, but it doesn't do a whole lot of work. And although Licorice doesn't die there, he just TP'd back into lane and lost 2/3 of his health. Not a good time.
The wave is pushed up against him as well with the Hecarim on the other side and his jungler doing dragon. So Licorice might just have to hug the brush and hope that the Hecarim is not there. Wards the river in hopes that that will buy enough time for him to crash this wave. But there is a potential for diving this Gnar now since Xerxe is still in the area, can pick up the crab, hit level 6, maybe go up there since Gnar really would like to crash this. Look at how desperate he is trying to push this wave. It's a cannon wave as well. I'd love to see Revenge hold this. I don't know if you would hit that.
Licorice going in there, looking for the all-in, looking for the solo kill on Revenge. He calls down the ulti, he places a barrel, the boy's at about no HP, and it's first blood for Licorice in top lane.
He hits level 6 and has the level 6 spike to all-in Revenge. He's trying to kill the cannon as we saw for that level, but Licorice jumps on the opportunity. As the auto comes in, he still doesn't have it. It looks like he needs one more creep on the side of Revenge to hit that 6. Yep, it dies right now, and he can use his ultimate now, but that is a really nice heads-up play there out of Licorice, even flashing away, hoping that the barrel doesn't stun him, and even gets a level from it, crashes the wave, and that is a big play out of Licorice. He was by himself in that side without any jungle support, pulls off the kill, all while his jungler gets dragon. It's a big cross-map gain for FlyQuest.
Good stuff up there in the top lane for the FlyQuest squad. And at the same time, because Xerxe was seen top, Jose was able to go down and take that Drake by himself, getting FlyQuest the first objective. We're seeing the alternate Skarner skill order this game with the Q max first and then going into the W max second. And this is super effective at being able to take down Drakes by yourself. It does percentage-based damage after the most recent changes to the champion, so that means that big bad dudes like the Drake just get cut down very effectively once plenty of points are put into the skill. I also like Q-Max this game because you're up against 3 different melee opponents, and it means he'll get maximum damage here in these fights. Down in the bottom lane, it's Xerxe, who's now coming around looking to potentially make a play. Has the Onslaught of Shadows ready to go. Destiny's going in. The Lantern's been placed down. Johnsun's just killed off before anything else can be done. Xerxe's here for moral support and nothing else.
They thought they were safe because Diamond was playing far back with the Lantern, and if you get that Lantern off, yeah, you actually are safe. But a really good stun from Destiny, then the flash, or sorry, the ward to stop the Lantern from going through, and that's a nice and easy kill. FlyQuest knew that Hecarim was in the bot side of the map. JoseDeodo is clearing top to bottom, and here he'll try to flash on Insanity.
Nice flash. Insanity could be in a bad spot here. Pulled back. Suppression comes through. Chaos Storm goes down. Say goodnight. Hand the kill over to the mid laner. And Palafox is on the board.
He had flash, but because Diamond was also flanking, he thought that he was already dead. There was nothing to go around, and it was a really nice flash there from JoseDeodo to dodge out on the scout of the week. Once that goes down, there's really no way to go about it. Let's see how the engage from Rell stops Johnsun. Yep, right. Chained, stunned, warded very nicely. They had exactly in mind what they needed to do to get this kill. And then JoseDeodo. Insanity knows that JoseDeodo is here, by the way. He walked him through that ward, but because Diamond is also here, and because of a really nice play, he thought he would be safe. He is not, and dies for it.
It looked like Jose just threw that E out into left field, but he was firing it over the wall in the hopes that if Insanity flashed, he was going to be ready to hit him with the E, slow him down enough to continue the pursuit anyway. Yeah. If Insanity flashes there, that's a Mad Life Skarner E, and it's the play of the game. If he doesn't, it kind of just looks like he misclicked, but it's whatever. They still get the kill anyway. But Xerxe is taking the Rift Herald here in the top half of the map. They have the full 4 minutes of that to be able to get plate money as long as they drop it in a good spot where it doesn't immediately die. So we'll see where he wants to drop that one as we move forward. 3 different Sheens already built here for the side of Immortals. Everybody going after the Spellblade options, while on the other side, FlyQuest is prioritizing footwear, my friend. We have plated steel caps. We have Ionian boots of Lucidity. We have Berserker's Greaves. We have another Ionian boots of Lucidity. All these guys going after the movement speed as Diamond lands a nice death sentence, but the follow-up ain't there, and FlyQuest will not try to go in here in the 2v2.
Yeah, no need to use the Aphelios ultimate there, even though Graviton was available. You don't have your Q, and Raes still has Flash, so they're fine getting some harass because you get a free heal. And so from that free heal, now you're going to be set up to maybe continue to push this lane, have some pressure down there, and draw out jungle attention some more, maybe outplay it this time around. So I like when lanes get a little advantage and then don't overpress it and just recognize that we can now use this amount of pressure to get better vision, to get better setup for our jungler, and then slowly prioritize the better objectives that we think about, whether they're dives or dragons. So we'll see what the bottom lane does with that. And they crash the wave, they base, and now they're going back to the bottom lane that is already littered with control wards. One here in the red buff. It is going to be cleared out once this Skarner thing sees it, but maybe they won't get the other one.
Well, they got that first one. At least Destiny can pad the vision score a little bit on that. Vision scores aren't exactly super high at this point in the game, as it's 7 versus 5 there in the support role. So getting those numbers a little bit higher will be nice. Drake is once again on the board. First one was taken by FlyQuest without any contest. We'll see if Immortals want to bother with that or if they're okay just giving away the first 2. A lot of times that will be the story for a team. They'll give away those first 2, start contesting at number 3. And it seems with Xerxe up here in the top half of the map, they are not concerned over that Drake pit right now as more and more wards are placed down there.
They need to know that JoseDeodo has not changed his route all game. He has literally done top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom all game long. So going up here, you should know that the timing of his camps is not available. So Xerxe is up here, doesn't get anything, and frankly doesn't have anything else to do. He has the Rift Herald, and Licorice is respecting that the Hecarim could be up here. So he's not giving the option of a dive for the top side. So maybe Palafox overextends and goes for it, but in the meantime, FlyQuest will look to dive or threaten one, but they're spread out all over the map. Let's see if Palafox succumbs to the Hecarim.
Ooh, Palafox with a good flash away from the Scout of the Week, staying safe. And because he has allies in the river and Immortals do not know how close those allies are, they cannot chase him further into the brush. So a good gank attempt from Immortals, but it does just stop at the flash from Palafox. Diamond is up here in the top lane now, looking to maybe make a play on revenge, but the ward that he has there in the river lets him know that that support is hanging around, and he'll just continue to step back.
He makes a play off of vision, but Immortals cannot. Their vision game really needs to step up. They're finally clearing out wards, but they're warding their own red side, so they don't really know what FlyQuest is up to. They'll just now know that they're not on your side of the jungle. And they got a lot of value from that control ward that was at the entrance of the red side of IMT. That's one of my favorite wards. Just placing vision as if you were the enemy team, taking their spots, because those are usually the less likely places for them to ward. You'll usually ward as if you're the enemy team, but if you place wards in all the areas where the enemy team wants them and they never check them, then you actually get even more value from it because they'll likely cross those areas a lot. Here's 3 men in the mid lane against Palafox with a flash.
Oh, they're making the move. They go in for the CC and they chain it beautifully. Palafox is down. Xerxe grabs his first kill of the game here, and Immortals ties it all up.
Okay, that's 2 plays in a row that FlyQuest know are happening, but get outplayed by the Lantern. They need to make a quick adjustment here because they're getting outplayed. There's too much crowd control for them to actually Lantern people back, so they need to hang further back in the lane. It's clearly getting chained away from IMTCC, so I want to see Diamond play accordingly to it. They still have some time before that next play is made somewhere else, but I really need to see this Lantern get some value because otherwise the Thresh is really not doing that much. He's not going to find those beautiful hooks on the carries anytime soon because Ezreal will not play that way out of laning phase.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the replay here. It was Scatter the Weak, into the Rell, into the Hecarim, and just nothing could be done, man. Palafox never got to hit a single button.
I think he could have lanterned sooner, but if you lantern so early, then Destiny will also get the ward. So that's why I'm saying you just need to play further back, and they're going to try to run him down here. They don't know where the rest of the team is at, and that's the second time they go into the mid lane and just retreat once Palafox goes into the fog of war.
Jose continuing to farm up here, has that Turbo Kim tank ready to go. That's your big playmaker here for the Skarner. On the other side, Insanity paying a ton of respect to that pull. QSS completed after Lost Chapter. Does not even go for the fully completed first item before stopping off for the QSS. So he's paying a ton of respect to this. He recognizes that he is the most vulnerable person on his team. Raes has a built-in escape mechanism with the E. You've got the fact that Hecarim has the ability to tank through it with Spirit of Dread, and Revenge can eat an orange and everything's fine. So he's the one who knows, hey, this is one of those games, you got to pay the taxes, feels bad, but it is what it is. That means Palafox will have an extra advantage over his opponent in terms of building up and being able to hit power spikes sooner, but the game is still less than 500 gold apart, Crumbzz, and the next Drake is spawning in under 90 seconds.
Yeah, Insanity's the guy that does his taxes in January, tells you about it. You're kind of mad. You haven't even received your W-2s. He's like, how am I supposed to even keep up with you, dude?
Oh,
but
man.
He doesn't have his completed first item, but neither does Palafox, who is about to die again.
Oh, Palafox getting hit with the onslaught of shadows and everything else in there. He falls over, and Insanity takes the kill. Down here on the bottom side, it's Jose going in, looking for the kill, looking for the play onto Raes. But with the jump in from Destiny, who gets away, the Skarner ulti can't quite get it done, and that means Immortals walk their two players out of the bottom lane, but they will lose the Tier 1 turret.
And they don't even get that first turret either. Unfortunate for FlyQuest. They burn a lot of summoners in the bot lane, but without Skarner's flash, it's the first time we actually see it not get any value. The last time was in the mid lane, and once again, though, Palafox has to respect that there is a target on his back. Without flash available, IMT have been relentless on him, and now his flash will be back up, so he'll be playing scared, but now they won't go for him anymore. They'll probably play to the bot side of the map, so just IMT knowing where they could find their kills, and very easy to go to the mid lane when Palafox plays up and does not have his summoner nor a lantern to save him.
And you can see some on my way pings coming out now from Immortals. They've given up the first two Drakes. We're getting to the point where it's dangerous to continue just letting those fall to the wayside. So now they're starting up the third Drake of the game here themselves, bringing in the teleport. It's a full 5-man assault on the Drake from Immortals. JoseDeodo is here. Xerxe continues staying right on top of the Drake. We'll see if Jose wants to go in and coin flip this with a 50-50. Destiny trying to initiate here. Dragon's going to be taken by Immortals. Licorice getting himself away, but the damage is coming through. Xerxe grabbing the kill on Palafox as Johnsun has to flash over the wall. True Shot Barrage coming in with Revenge with the flash follow. Looking to grab the kill, and he's got it. Parlay takes the kill on that one, but the Skarner ulti's got Gangplank's number. The oranges had already been used, so he was a sitting duck. Still, though, it's a 2-for-1 play for Immortals. They'll take the Drake 2, and they're taking everything out of the FlyQuest jungle.
Ooh, let's take a look again, because IMT was way faster to this. So by the time that FlyQuest is thinking about coming into it, IMT can not only finish the dragon, but get a really good engage off, while the rest of FlyQuest is just now making it past the river. Okay, Licorice, you have no flash. You probably are dead.
Whoop. See you later, buddy. Destiny grabs the kill, just stabs him with the lance there one time, and the horse and around combo is just too much, man. Immortals 6-3 now in this game, up 2,500 gold, 18 minutes in, feeling real good.
You should count that kill in the tally of the last play as well, because they stayed in the blue side after getting all that jungle and then just saw Licorice get back down there. Great, another free kill. And now it's getting really tricky for FlyQuest, because you can only really rely on JoseDeodo now to find those picks. But IMT is now strong enough that they can just continue to group in this game. And if they can start to stay grouped, the chances of JoseDeodo finding that pick are a lot lower. You've got the double QSSs now, and you're saying that Xerxe's a good target. My man's paying taxes when he didn't even have to here. He's putting the money early so that next year he gets a refund.
Well, he's ready to go, and currently that means that Raes is the only one that is still really vulnerable to that Skarner ultimate. Everybody else defensive against it with oranges and QSSs and just being Rell. So now we've got to see if FlyQuest can find the ability to make these plays and find these initiations, because so far, Immortals is heating up as we get further into this mid-game. Now, Baron will be alive on the map here in just under 1 minute. Right now, Shelly is still hanging out in the pit, and Immortals are making a move, trying to take this one down before she despawns.
And FlyQuest has no business fighting this. They don't even need to know that it's happening. They've got the ward in the back, but that ward doesn't even see Shelly. You've got Gnar blip pushing in the bot lane without teleports. It's a free Herald from IMT right before the Baron spawns as well, so they get some good value out of that one. We'll see it probably get popped in the mid lane or after some big team fight win that they can get a lot more value out of that. So let's see if Raes can get caught by JoseDeodo, who has flash.
JoseDeodo's going in. He found the one dude who doesn't have the QSS, and he pulled him in. Shut down over to Johnsun.
He's so fast. How is a Scorpion so fast? He just
phase rush
straight at him.
Phase rush, man. It's scary, scary stuff. You're guaranteed to get the phase rush proc when you pull the opponent because it counts damage from items as one of the 3 separate instances. So Kim Tank burn plus ulti is 2. So then either single use of your Q or just use Chilling Smite. Boom, phase rush has to proc on the ulti. You're pulling him out of there like a tow truck that hit the NOS button. There is no way that Raes is surviving that one. He wisely keeps both summoner spells knowing he was done for.
Yeah, I want to hang out with people that have got tow trucks with NOS buttons. But secondly, that was actually a really good timing on taking out Raes because he didn't have flash. It was barely coming up. If you saw it, it was just a sliver of time until he actually had that back up. So JoseDeodo with the cooldown reduction boots actually getting value out of the flash to sneak a kill in before Ezreal got his.
And you can see Jose building towards that dead man's plate here next, just going for the movement speed items. Generally for Skarner, if it works for Udyr, it can work for Skarner in terms of what they build. It's just a Kim tank into movement speed tanky stuff in terms of their presence in competitive play. Over on the other side, Xerxe has decided to fully evolve the QSS into that blue thing. I have never seen this built in a competitive environment that I can recall, so I don't actually know the name off the top of my head, but it is the Bruiser QSS item, and FlyQuest has 2 men up here in the top lane trying to defend as Immortals brings multiple players up here, maybe looking to make a play. They still have half the time left on that Rift Herald, about 2 minutes to go here, but Drake is spawning in about 30 seconds. Very nice pull coming out from Diamond, and Johnsun is moving forward now. Raes eating a lot of damage. Johnsun looking to finish him off here with a little bit more damage to grab the kill, but Revenge is able to take him down too. It's 80 carry for 80 carry, and for FlyQuest, it's getting a little bit scary here. Revenge continues to frontline, looking to find the damage onto Palafox. Another Lantern going to be thrown back, but another Lantern without any success, Crumbzz. FlyQuest have already lost both of their big carries, and their support is on the run. Immortals falling in here, chasing them down, and once again, it's up to the horses to do the work. Xerxe's coming in, needs a little bit more. A nice scatter the week, and they'll give the kill over to Insanity. Immortals on a 9-5 game.
Great turn out of them. It was Ezreal that got caught. Once again, they see the Ezreal, but nobody had checked that he bought a QSS after that kill. It's like, nah, I'm not letting Skarner do that to me again. So he pops it on the hook, and then when they commit, he buys so much time that then the Gangplank ends up showing up and just does so much on the back of that. And it actually ends up being a really big play because it was right before the Dragon. Fly was set up for the Dragon setup. They jumped the gun, didn't have enough firepower in there, and now are in a really tough spot. So let's see how it's all played out because it's only 2 people initially going for this, and you can't really blame him, but it was just the fact that you didn't know that there was a QSS. You know that he didn't know that because of the box being used right away. Normally, you hook, you flay into the box, and he's dead. But because he had that, then they thought, well, we already committed everybody. The Viktor's already here. Should we just go all the way? Yeah, go all the way. Oh, crap. Everybody from IMT's here.
Oh,
no. Skarner or Gnar.
Disaster. Absolute disaster for FlyQuest down here. I mean, they got the guy they came for, but they got way more than they bargained for after the fact, man. Diamond thought he might be able to get away, but then they could just hand the kill off to Insanity, which makes it feel even better. And now Immortals has the game tied up in terms of Drakes. Giving away those first 2 ends up being of no real consequence to them, and they continue building leads here in this game. So, Crumbzz, you're the smart guy here on the cast, so I'm going to pose you the question. What is the move for for FlyQuest. We've been seeing them fall behind for a while now, so how do they get back in this game and stop this bleeding that Immortals has inflicted upon them?
You remember how Dardoch found a lot of picks against TSM when he was playing Skarner? He was going after Rell. So that's who I would go after if I'm on the side of FlyQuest, because I'm already out of options. The top 4 are not viable, really. Unless Xerxe's playing just crazy and ulting in, he's going to likely have a way out, and he's quite tanky already. And he has the QSS, too, so unless you CC him twice, you're not getting him. So Destiny would be the guy to go after. So if you can find the Rell by herself on a warding mission, get a few of those picks, then you can actually slow the game down, get better vision, and then you can start to think about chaining CC and then timing the QSSs and going for these more important members.
Of course, it is a lot scarier in this game than it was in the last one. Recall that TSM's composition had only the Rell that was able to initiate, whereas if they initiate on Destiny here and he is not fully alone, you have the Xerxe ulti follow-up. You have the fact that Revenge can call down the cannons on top of the location they're trying to make the play. So FlyQuest definitely have their work cut out for them here in this game. 4,000 gold lead is where it's been for the past couple of minutes and where it appears to be staying. Revenge will push up here in the bottom lane, making sure that Licorice still has the pressure applied to him. And you can see FlyQuest just sort of hanging back, man. Licorice clears the wave. Jose's just shadowing him, making sure nobody from Immortals is coming to make the play as soon as he's out from under the turret. But it feels so scary for FlyQuest right now, based on the past few minutes of play, to go anywhere that's not already fully warded.
And they can have some comfort in that safety because you have an Aphelios that doesn't have his Infinity Edge yet, so you can always have a big late game threat. So as long as you farm up, you keep getting gold into the right places, Skarner, Thresh will always be able to do their job. So they're counting on Johnsun this time around. And I just wanted to throw in a little fun fact there. I guess not really a fun fact. It's just a fact. It's not very fun. Silvermere Dawn is the name of the item that Xerxe has bought.
Okay, I don't feel so bad for not knowing that now because I feel like I've never heard that in my life. Maybe I just never
describes that. Silvermere Dawn. It's like a poem. A poet described the sunset in California.
I kind of want to hear you write this full poem now next time. If we ever are at a lack of content, if we ever go back to the olden days of lane swaps and we have to figure out something to talk about for the first 7 minutes of every game, I want a Silvermere Dawn poem out of you.
Here, I got a poem for you. Roses are red, violets are blue. Camp my lane or I'll int you.
Well, Diamond's about to find himself in a bad spot here. You don't have time for poetry or nothing else. Immortals grabbing a killing spree on him. Xerxe getting paid for that one. 3-0-4 here on the Hecarim. 7 out of 10 kill participation, and every time FlyQuest moves forward, Immortals are there to smack him in the mouth. Now going after the tier 1 turret up here in the top lane. If they secure this one, that will be a 4-3 turret lead, and nobody from FlyQuest is stopping them.
They need Aphelios to join this fight now. You gotta get this man an eye edge and then start fighting, because you don't even have damage anymore. Yeah, you can maybe pick somebody out, but you don't have enough damage to kill them before the CC is removed. So I need to see Johnsun be grouped up with the team, and it's gonna have to come down to just these team fights now. It's really tricky for FlyQuest to fight these out because of how hard IMT can engage and how consistently the carries can deal damage. So I think the best way to play it is kiting back, make sure you pick off the members that are over-committing to the dive. And here's Licorice, who TP, try to get early into this dragon fight, but he might just get picked.
Oh man, Destiny's going after him, looking for the CC here with a flash, instant engage, making it so Licorice has a tough time getting himself away. Xerxe and the rest of Immortals still coming down here looking to maybe make a move, but Baron is the call for FlyQuest. They're saying, all right, you want our top laner, you can have him. We want Baron. Immortals sending a couple more players over here trying to stop this one. FlyQuest staying committed, going after the Baron, down to 4,000 HP. Insanity's going to be your target. Uses the QSS on the base stun, and then pops the stasis, keeping himself alive. Xerxe's here now. Baron's going to reset. Immortals will properly answer FlyQuest, but I like the fact that they went for this.
It got really close. I think Rell just canceled or just stopped Licorice from moving altogether. Her and Revenge were keeping the Gnar away and making sure that you had Insanity, Raes, and even Xerxe that would make it into that fight. And they take away Fly from the Baron, they get the Dragon, and now they can actually get a quicker reset. FlyQuest has not reset from that time they spent on that Baron. So if IMT can use this momentum to get vision into the Baron side now, they'll actually have control both of the Dragon and of Baron for the next fight.
All right, Immortals having 3 Infernal Drakes. Man, that is so much extra damage here for these guys. So scary for FlyQuest. Palafox currently having to back. He has no mana left. Needs to be able to reset, get back out on this map ASAP. Xerxe and Destiny with control over the Baron Pit will go ahead and sweep out the remaining control wards here of FlyQuest. JoseDeodo still hanging around here. Should be able to pass this red buff off to his Aphelios, give that one to Johnsun, who does have a 3-item power spike here on this Aphelios. Infinity Edge, Rune's Hurricane, Kraken Slayer all ready to go. We've seen what Aphelios can do in team fights once he hits these item points, but he will have to be properly protected. Again, back to your point earlier on in this game, Crumbzz, about the Lanterns not being there, about Immortals being able to play around them correctly, and FlyQuest having to respect that fact and make sure that Johnsun just doesn't get exploded. JoseDeodo's going in. He goes for the E, but he missed the E, and that means nothing else can be done. Johnsun getting hit by the True Shot Barrage, and FlyQuest falls back. The attempted play there is you hit the Ezreal with the E, you get him to panic press the QSS, then ult him after, but when you miss the E, the entire play falls apart and the Skarner has to disengage.
Well, they're looking. At least they're looking, but it's, again, really difficult targets to go after. I'd love to see what that commitment against the Rell could do, because Raes is the hardest champion on the IMT side to pick, literally. He has the E, he has the QSS, he's got Flash and Heal. It's not like the Syndra, who doesn't have those mobility spells. So I want to see this attempt again, but against somebody that is more likely to get caught by it.
Well, Syndra does still have that stasis. Remember, that's what we saw Insanity outplay with in the top side of the river. He felt okay QSSing the normal stun because he could then immediately stasis right after the fact and not be vulnerable to that ulti. So I am not jealous of JoseDeodo's job in this game. It is incredibly difficult to find a big play to make considering the itemization and the champions of his opponents.
It's over for him, actually. Look at Destiny. Everybody has paid the taxes. Yeah. Pack it up, Skarner.
It's a tax-paying season, baby. It's QSS ×4 with Gangplank being the only person who doesn't have one, and he has it on his W. So life is incredibly difficult for JoseDeodo at this point. The rest of the team has to set him up and make it so the QSSs get used on some other sort of CC. Diamond is trying to run away here. The barrels will not find him, but he still loses 40% health. The next Drake is spawning in 2 minutes, and it's Infernal Soul for Immortals if they get it. FlyQuest must find a way to try to stop this. Skarner going for the Hex Flash over the wall, but he's not ready to make any sort of a play. Not when everybody's got QSS, man. It just don't work.
The play is to keep Johnsun alive. It's no longer about finding that engage on the side of FlyQuest. Yeah, getting good position, but engaging first seems really difficult. Ideally, you can have IMT overextend for a few members that aren't that valuable, and then you combo it up. But you need to get Johnsun auto-attacking and dealing damage. Licorice doesn't have Flash.
Okay, Immortals going for the play on Licorice, and they just destroy him before he's able to enter the Mega form. That means that Immortals are now looking for even more. Xerxe jumping in with the devastating charge. A bad flash from Diamond way too late. Ends up just costing FlyQuest extra. Destiny may die here to the turret shot, and he will.
What?
Xerxe's diving into the middle of 3 here with the onslaught of shadows. I don't know about that one. Now he may get chased down by Jose, but he cannot enter into the brushes knowing Immortals are still nearby.
Well, they still got enough kills to go for this Baron now, so it looks like IMT will be happy with that one. The Ezreal and Viktor, or sorry, Gangplank, wait a minute, they're not going for it. Okay, well, we're going to see the replay of this first, and it's Licorice just being overextended. The wave is crashing already, so there's no need for him to be here. IMT sniff it out, they quickly respond, and then watch Insanity stun. Okay, well, first, we get to see GP versus Skarner.
Okay, Gangplank is fighting Skarner on top of the Spire, which is bad news. Jose's getting a lot of damage down onto him here. Revenge eating a ton of damage from that. Remember that Skarner's Spires give him between 43% and 140% attack speed based on level. So considering he's level 14, he should be getting over 100% attack speed from the Spire right now, along with massively boosted movement speed and unlimited mana. The champion is deceptively difficult to fight on those Spires, and so JoseDeodo finds himself in a spot where they can chase Revenge away. But Immortals has responded. They have Revenge back out on the map now. He healed up, teleported back in. Drake is the focus, coming out here from FlyQuest. Xerxe's going, and he steals away the Infernal Soul. This is a great fight for Immortals to take now. They've killed off the enemy AD carry. They've taken the Dragon Soul. Diamond's having to run away. Licorice goes for a kill, but he won't be able to find it just yet. Palafox at least takes down Destiny. He's chasing after Xerxe, looking for another, but he will not find it. Immortals win the fight 2-for-1, and they'll take the soul.
Oh, it's a huge win for them, being able to not only not have the initial setup, but then come into the fight. Once FlyQuest knows where you're striking from, get the kill, get the steal, and get out is a giant win. But Raes, what?
Oh man, Palafox down to 100 HP. Revenge ends up grabbing a killing spree on him, but Raes falls too, so we got a 1-for-1 here in this trade.
That probably is worth it for FlyQuest, being able to take down the AD, but Insanity has TP'd in here, and Johnsun will be up to stop the inhibitor from going down, but not the turret. So IMT do get something for it, but they won't be able to go and start a Baron right now. So let's see this Dragon fight right away, because it first has Xerxe get a really nice steal there, early smite from JoseDeodo, and then the ultimate with Rell gets chained into the Hecarim. Johnsun never stood a chance, and he was the win condition. He was how they win this fight. Imagine if the Aphelios lived just a little bit longer. These health bars would have all melted.
Such an important smite steal from Xerxe, showing up huge when he needs to. And even though Jose hasn't yet died, he's 1-0-4. That's a perfectly good scoreline. Just the 4-0-6 he's having to compete against. Xerxe is making big plays when they matter and not making mistakes that are costing his team anything huge in this game. His Hecarim has been awesome thus far, and honestly, Immortals are in a great spot to be able to take this one home. They have that 7,500 gold lead, they have control over the topside river, and you have to expect a Baron play is coming up soon.
They just got red buff on Raes. He's super strong now, so if you could just control the Baron side, poke away a few members of FlyQuest when they start peeking in, then you're in a really good spot here now. So FlyQuest is just now making it back on the map. Aphelios just picked up a BT though, so he's so fed, he just needs to stay alive for FlyQuest to have a shot in these fights, and IMT knows exactly what they need to do. Remove Aphelios from the team fight, win the game, but this gold deficit, this soul deficit can still be overcome from the damage that Johnsun has. He just needs to live through it.
It's such a tall order though, man. Being able to live through a Gangplank and a Hecarim and a Syndra and Rell all together. His positioning must simply be immaculate. And so far, based on his 1-4 scoreline, it's not quite there. The gold lead continues building up, continues to be a good game here for Immortals as they have tons of wards down over this Baron pit area. There is, of course, one control ward placed down by FlyQuest in the back part of the pit. You can see there's a blue trinket there as well, but that's being disabled by the Immortals control ward. So Insanity will step up, just take care of that vision here real fast. And we've got Revenge down here in the Drake pit, but the Elder Drake's not spawning for 2.5 minutes. You could see some pings coming out from FlyQuest. First, some question marks, what is he doing down there? And then some on my ways in case he stuck around, but he was not doing that. Instead, Revenge will just be providing the side lane threat. Xerxe trying to get away now as Raes might be in some trouble. Gets marked by the E, but gets over the wall in time before Jose is able to proc the stun. Raes continues to be the target here from the side of FlyQuest, but it will not work. JoseDeodo going to be tanking way too much here in the front line. Destiny doing the same. Revenge has not been able to join the fight here just yet, but now he's able to approach from the flank. Palafox going to be run down and cut down, and now they're continuing to chase even further. Palafox at least grabs a kill onto Destiny, but they've already lost 2 here on the side of FlyQuest. Raes wants to push even further forward. Johnsun's on the run. Licorice nearly dead. Jose the same, and Immortals will go straight into the base looking for this mid lane inhib.
I think they can end the game. The carry of Palafox is dead, and Aphelios does not have flash. If they can kill him, they can win right here, but there's also the potential for that Hail Mary Infernum and ultimate on Aphelios.
JoseDeodo went for it. He tried to get the ulti play, but the QSS was just too strong. Bottom lane inhibitor falls. It's a 2-inhib game now as Immortals will break the base of FlyQuest. Jose and Licorice and Johnsun are trying to stand and fight, see if maybe they can catch somebody on a greedy recall. But Diamond and Palafox still dead for a little while longer. Palafox will have teleport. When he respawns, they may look to make some sort of a pincer maneuver here with Palafox teleporting deep behind enemy lines. Will that teleport show up? Yes, it will. FlyQuest going in, still looking to take this fight, still looking to make some sort of a move. This could be their last-ditch chance to ever win a fight in this game. Palafox needs to find a little bit more damage. Nicely done from Insanity, just zeroes him out and takes him down. Jose is on the front line, but it's a double kill for the Syndra. It's about to be even more. Raes takes the kill on Licorice, and with 3 dead on FlyQuest, Immortals are going right back where they came from, heading to the FlyQuest base. Diamond tries to get out. Oh no, man. Xerxe's in hot pursuit. Destiny's here too. He brings in Johnsun and they're trying to fight against these guys. But once again, the horse it around combo. 8 legs is more than 4. You don't win that 2v2, boys. Double kill back for Insanity. The Bud Light ace to wrap up the game. And Immortals are going to take down FlyQuest 39 minutes in.
That is a big momentum swing for IMT. 2-0 thus far, and they're slowly climbing up the ranks while pushing down the teams that are close to them. Now they're clearly above FlyQuest and slowly getting themselves closer to that playoff spot.
Well done to Immortals. The itemization to shut down the engage opportunities and the playmaking of FlyQuest. It seemed like FlyQuest had just run out of options, run out of steam by the mid-game, and Immortals continue to push themselves forward while also, very importantly, not making a bunch of critical errors that would result in their opponents having a way back into the game.
They knew what they needed to do. Just let the Skarner run in, everybody by the QSSs. If they can't get the pick, it's a lot harder for us to lose. Then find the engage onto the Aphelios, which was really well done. I think the coordination they showed in CCing a priority target was really well executed this game, and it's something that target selection they could take to further games and improve their chances of being coordinated in these team fights.
And the early game shutdown of the Thresh saves as well. During Champion Select, we were saying, hey, you love seeing Aphelios with Thresh. The Thresh provides an escape mechanism for immobile carries like Aphelios or like Viktor. But every single time they tried to use it, it was always Immortals just saying, no, we deny this over and over and over again. We play around the lantern properly. We shut down this escape possibility and make it so FlyQuest takes more hits than they want to take. It put them in a hole that they weren't able to recover from, and even after Immortals conceded those first 2 Drakes, they did a great job answering the ones later on in the game and making it so it never really mattered.
It never really did. It felt like IMT always knew how they were going to play the fights, while it felt like a few members of FlyQuest had a general idea. So it's the power of all being on that same page that we have learned to be so powerful for teams like Dig. It's working for IMT, and maybe the next match can show us more teams all on the same page.
All right, that's it for this game. We're going to be tossing here to break now, but once we return, we're going to hear from Destiny in the Verizon post-game interview. You don't want to miss it.